What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's world title fight for the vacant WBO strap at 154 pounds between the 22-year-old young Puerto Rican star Xander Zayas and the tough, gritty Mexican Chino Garcia. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Go down to the bottom of your screen right now, hit the bell notification button, click that so you never miss a video. Guys, on the channel over the last few days, we launched our new Discord group. This is for the Johnny Says Boxing Insiders. If you want to become a member, it's only a couple bucks a month. That link is pinned in the comment section below. You'll get access to a great boxing community. You're going to get my locks of the week. You're going to get my parlays. We discuss all things boxing. We get into MMA as well. And more importantly, you're going to become part of a great like-minded community. Find that link pinned in the comment section below. All right, guys, when this fight got announced, I'm sure I'm not the only one who was super excited by this ultra intriguing matchup between the Puerto Rican and the Mexican, Xander Zayas versus Chino Garcia. In this video, guys, we're going to be breaking down both fighters' careers. I'm going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and stay tuned to the end of the video. Like always, that's where I'm going to be going over the current Las Vegas odds. I'm also going to give you my prediction and tell you where to put your money. All right, guys, Xander Zayas is a rising superstar. He's on the cusp of breaking through. Sometimes it's easy to forget that he's only 22 years old. We last saw him take on the undefeated Slawis Bomer, in which he got a late round stoppage to continue on his upward trajectory, keeping his perfect record intact, thus propelling him to this opportunity to fight for the vacant WBO world title strap at 154 pounds. In his opponent, we last saw him featured on our channel when he was the B-side once again against Charles Conwell. He came into that fight a 6-1 underdog against the storied amateur, big feared puncher from Northeast Ohio. And bad news got some bad news. Sorry for the bad pun at the end of that fight, losing a close split decision. In my opinion, even though we broke that fight down, even though I'm a Northeast Ohio guy, even though I had Conwell in my prediction, I don't think it was as close as the scorecards read out. I was super impressed with Chino. I was unaware with how tough he is. I was also unaware, in my opinion, something that I really took home with me in terms of what he did really well against Conwell was the fact of how comfortable he was that entire fight in front of Conwell, and also being able to take what Conwell was giving him and make in-fight adjustments in the moment. Guys, that is much harder than it looks and much harder to do than it is to say. That means that Conwell was on the front foot, throwing big shots, pressuring Chino up against the ropes the entire fight, and what Chino was doing was taking it, rolling with it, countering, using the ropes to help with his defense. He was winning the infighting, winning the clinch fighting, and there's a tale of two stories. I did leave that fight kind of head scratching a bit on Conwell's side. I dare use the word exposed, but I did expect Charles to have a bit more gears in terms of his entrances when he was entering the pocket. He was doing the same thing over and over, and he really didn't have any answers to Chino's counterboxing in the clinch. I guess I just expected more of a well-rounded offensive arsenal for Conwell, but sometimes it's hard to do against a guy with 35 plus pro fights in Chino. I just didn't see that coming. I was really impressed. So after that fight, I put an asterisk by Chino's name, and when this fight got announced, I went, oh boy, this one's gonna be closer than a lot of people think. Xander Zayas is super athletic. Whatever box you have, whatever box you want to tick next to a fighter, next to a rising contender, a potential star, a potential champion, Xander ticks all of those boxes. The size, the physicality, the strength, the athleticism, how he is on the microphone. He has Puerto Rico behind him. With the last few fights in terms of opportunities, Serrano falling short, Berlanga falling short, Zayas has an opportunity to put Puerto Rico on the map and keep them on the map for a long time in the boxing community, considering he's only 22. And with a title and with a victory over Chino this weekend, he will become the youngest world champion in boxing on the male side, considering we have Brian Norman Jr. at 24, Bam at 25, and Xander is only 22. So right now, I do want to take a closer look at the 4-loss 28-year-old Mexican known as Chino Garcia. Guys, Jorge Garcia Perez is 33-4 with 26 knockouts. Out of 2,256 fighters in the world at 154 pounds, he's ranked number 12. He's fought a total career of 184 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 79% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as Chino, and the 28-year-old Mexican is a 6-foot Orthodox fighter residing at Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. We last saw him fight Charles Conwell, 21-0, won a split in the 12th. Abdukakarov, 20-3, won a UD in the 10th. Esaudi, 22-2, knocked him out in the first. Knapp, 16-1, knockout in the third. Ramirez, 21-12, knockout in the first. And guys, if you go through his box rec, like I just told you, he has a record of 33-4. I watched his losses. I watched the footage of the 4 decisions. I also want to mention, including this fight this weekend, Chino comes into every fight as the B-side. This matters in close decisions. Unfortunately, to confess, boxing fans will know that that is the case. The B-side really has to either overperform, get a stoppage, or just make no doubt in the public's eye to get a decision. I think Chino should be 36-1. He's never been stopped. I haven't found any footage of him getting dropped. In 2020, he lost a wide decision to Carlos Ocampo. That was 5 years ago. But the other 3 losses were in 6-rounders, losing split decisions. And other than that, especially if you live by the old adage that I do in boxing, what have you done for me lately? This version of Chino Garcia, 28 years old, is just now entering his physical prime. He's going to be the taller guy. He's going to be the longer guy. And more importantly, he's the more experienced fighter. So I think Xander Zayas has his hands full in this fight. I know the everyday person, the household name is going to be with the Puerto Rican fighter, but I would side on the air of caution before you make that money bet in terms of who you're going to put that money on. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the undefeated Puerto Rican and see what he's been up to in his career. All right, guys, Xander Zayas is 21-0 with 13 knockouts. Out of 2,256 fighters in the world at 154 pounds, he's ranked number 4. He's fought a total career of 100 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 62% career knockout to win ratio. The 22-year-old Puerto Rican is a 5'10" Orthodox fighter with a 74-inch reach. He was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, but calls Sunrise, Florida, USA home. We last saw him fight Slava Spomer, 20-0, stopped him in the 9th. Sosa, 25-2, UD in the 10th. Teixeira, 34-4, UD in the 10th. Fortea, 24-3, stopped him in the 5th. Valenzuela Jr., 26-4, stopped him in the 5th. If you ask me, I feel the way they've been moving Zayas as a 22-year-old has been pretty good. You know, pairing him up with Teixeira when he was 19 or 20 was a big ask considering Teixeira's championship pedigree, and Zayas passed the test. They put him in there with an undefeated Spomer. Zayas got him out of there via stoppage late. He's been tested before, but at only 22, he is by no means a finished product. He's still going to continue to polish. I feel that with his potential, with his athleticism, we might be looking at a guy throughout his career who could move up to 60 and possibly 68, maybe a potential 3-weight world champion before it's all said and done. Before we get there, we have to see what happens this weekend. When I look at these guys side by side, like I said, taller guy, Chino. The longer reach by a few inches, Chino. The fight experience, Chino. He's the older guy, 28-22. Even if you ask me, as of late, I like that Conwell victory. He was a big underdog, meaning that Chino has the experience and confidence of going into a feature big fight. This is a world title fight. The Conwell fight was more or less a title eliminator. He knows what it's like to go in as the dog and come out on top. Guys, that is extremely important in a world title fight. I was wrestling back and forth all week regarding my prediction, guys. I'm not going to lie to you on that. Even though the odds makers has this wider than I think it should be, I think this is really close to a coin flip. I got to be honest, before I give you my prediction, I want to let everybody know that I do live streams every single day. In those live streams all week, we go over our prop bets, our method of victory bets, our over and unders. We cover the UFC, MMA, all that good stuff. So in this video, these Stats Don't Lie videos on my playlist fight predictions, all I'm going to give you is my money line. That's why you got to subscribe. That's why you got to hit the bell notification button so you never miss a video. Let's pull out our betting apps. Down here in Australia, my book is called Sportsbet. And on the money line, Xander Zayas is a $1.31 favorite, meaning you put 100 on Xander to win, you get your money back plus 31 bucks. The draw 16 to 1. Chino is $3.80 underdog, meaning 100 on him gets you your money back plus 280 bucks. So Chino is not quite a 3-to-1 underdog. If you guys are the type of bettors out there that you're looking for the dog, you're looking for something to sprinkle on the dog, not really going too heavy, not really putting everything on it, I think Chino's a fair bet for the upset. You know, don't go too heavy on it, but I think he's a very live dog. Like I said, never been stopped, never been dropped, not that I could find, coming off a huge win over a tough Charles Conwell, and he's 28 years old, a longer guy, he's rangy, he has a high fight IQ, just watch the tape in his last fight. But for me on my channel, for the money line at $1.31, that's a lot of juice for the squeeze to take Xander Zayas. I think the 22-year-old, he obviously has the physical gifts. I give him the power advantage. I give him the speed advantage. He's more explosive. We're just going to have to hope that carrying that extra muscle doesn't get worked against him in terms of starting to fade mid to late rounds. Garcia's going to put a pace on him. Xander could do the same thing. These guys are going to meet in the middle. This is a classic Puerto Rico versus Mexican fight. This has a lot of sort of energy behind it. I feel for the true boxing heads, we're really excited about this fight. And if you're new to the sport, tune in because it's going to be a treat. Where I'm going with all my money, I'm taking Xander. But like I said, it's going to be a lot closer than I feel people think. I think both guys have the opportunity to impress a lot of people and take fans with them, even if they don't come out on top. You guys don't have to agree with me, guys. In the comment section below, who's coming home with the brand new shiny WBO world title belt at 154? Will it be Xander or will it be Chino? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, guys, stay tuned to the channel. We have a bunch of fights this week. So many matchups to feature, so stay tuned. And like always, I appreciate you.